Okay, so JJK is releasing in less than 2 days, and by the time you're seeing this, probably closer to 40 hours. And right now, I want to do the reroll guide, going over how exactly you're going to need to reroll, and it is very unfortunate with how you're going to actually have to at this current point in time, unless things change, and who exactly you should be going for. So I made a perfect reroll, but there's more than that, and also, should you use your pulls right away? We're going to answer a lot of those questions, thanks to some other infographics and other people who I'm able to get some info from, and also just talking about certain things. So first of all, the very unfortunate thing about JJK is to actually really have your account. You can't really like delete your account, right? It's not a guest account. You have to be logged in. So that means you need to have an email every single time. And if you have an email every single time, I think it's pretty important to actually do this. And this being the early gotcha, because basically how it works is you have your email and then you use Billy Games to sign in using this, and you'll be able to have your early gotcha pulls. So you're gonna want to do as many as you can. If you can do like even 4 or 5 accounts, if you're really into this, then you should definitely go for that, because I already went over the perfect reroll, which you could go check out in that video. But we'll be talking about the major hits in this video, including the actual recollection bits. So there are 3 things you could get: 1 character, 1 recollection bits, and up to 1,000 cubes. Okay, so you're going to be getting pulls every single day, which I've already talked about at length in every single video. But at this point, you might want to hurry it up. Just try and see if you can maybe get lucky in one of your 5 different accounts, because I think that having an early start is great, because they're kind of like going down on rerolling, because you can't really do a guest delete reroll and then continue on. So you really got to go. They're kind of like offsetting it due to this. Let me make it, yeah, a bit more like this. They're offsetting it due to, well, this early gotcha, but it's still not anything crazy. Now, they have all the base units, including Gojo, Itadori, and Nobara, like, in terms of, like, the actual standout highlights, and all the actual recollection bits. So we're going to be talking about all the good SRs and the good SSRs. Now, first of all, if you need anything, first of all, do check the wiki. But I do kind of want to show something. So as for the reroll, basically, the main things you got to know, the main things, is that you're going to have access to about 10,000 cubes if you did all the events with a actual account up to this point. And then also, let me open up from my video. So we got the 5 consecutive days, which gives up to 700, and then the early gotcha, which gives up to 1,000. And then with pre-registering, which did it vanish? I guess it did. It's going to give you another 7,500. So in total, you can get about 10,000, including also the Black Flash. So most people should start with over 3 multis, and it really is up to them what they want to do. But we can infer that, it's not necessarily needed to really summon right away, because we do also get, which I'm going to pull up right now. I could actually pull up the rewards. I don't know what I was doing. We do get the rerollable ticket, right? So that is pretty important, but I don't know where it, here it is. So we could get 700 plus 1, so 1,700, 2,200, 3,300, 10,800 essentially. And then we get the guaranteed redrawable ticket, okay? So if you're able to get an SSR plus the ticket, you don't need to summon, essentially, because you get 2 SSRs, and that's kind of like your base that you need. You can do a couple summons here and there, but I really don't think it's going to be that worth it, okay? I do think that's pretty important to note. So as for who you should be rerolling for, so I have this, okay? Thank you to the wiki. All right, link down below. So this is not a actual tier list of units, because they will not be in like B tier, and Toto is not going to be in C tier. But Toto is going to be very good with other units, but you need other good DPSs to really build off of him. So really going to reroll for him is not great when he needs other units to help them crit and then also stun, right? Stuff like that. But he is a pretty fun unit to use, and same with Panda. Like, he is a lot better than I'd say Megumi and even Nanami, okay? But then these higher tier units, it makes sense. Supporter, okay, he stops you from dying once. Wait, is that? I'm pretty sure it's the SSR Megumi. He is just good for critting, and then these 2 are like the actual good DPS. So like, these are the units you're really gonna go for. Obviously these 2 are the top of the bunch. So like, obviously, like, you want mostly these, but like, you could go for like Gojo, Nobara, 2 supports, and then go for a tank, essentially, something like that. And like, for example, there's even like a rare like tank Panda, right? So you could go for something like that. Now, in terms of rerolling, like, this really is like kind of D tier list, okay? I would agree with it pretty much almost wholeheartedly, because even for Panda, the thing is, there's a rare Panda that works just as well okay? But then for supporters, there's really not that many good supporters comparing to both of these two, right? They both have AoE support, and the GOAT right here is just absolutely excelling and stuff like that, which is why I pretty much agree with these placings in terms of the actual characters. So we could talk a bit about the recollection bits, and then we're going to get a bit more into the reroll guide. But overall, this is really how I'd classify it. But as for the recollection bits, so his is mainly going to be damage, and, you know, for the most part, going to be used on Gojo. Jujutsu damage, good for Gojo, increasing Jujutsu damage on ult, increasing Jujutsu damage on ult, add Limit Breaker 3 a bit more, and then fills on ultimate skill gauge, which is going to be very good for Limit Breaker 1, right? And then we got this one, which is just good in general for everything, maybe with a bit more of a Jujutsu leniency, but increasing damage dealt, and then also crit rate. So, like, it's a pretty good one. Now, this one is going to be giving a bit more HP, or no, sorry, I stand corrected. Around the same as the previous one. So when your ult is activated, increase taijutsu damage by 70%, and if it's 50% or below, you increase it by 30%. Okay. And then here you get a revival status to self-element breaker 1. So honestly, it's a pretty good one, but you do need some dupes. I don't think it's like the craziest, because I think you really do need to get this to really make use of it, I guess you could say. But this one for tanks, 32% HP, and then you also recover all allies' HP when a commander ult skill is used. And then reduce all allies damage received by 10% for 4 turns. This one, I think, is a very good one early game, because it's just helping everyone. And then this one, very good for taijutsu, which I'm pretty sure like someone like Itadori could use, which is going to be increasing ultimate skill gauge charge rate. And then if the selected enemies in break when attacking, fills on ult gauge even further. So this one's also going to be pretty good. Now, there's post adjustment. Am I tweaking? Like they took out the percentages anyway. We'll see. But these are like the 5 main ones that they are recommending, and I could pretty much understand why, especially the Gojo one. And which one gave the 30%? This one, yeah, this one for sure. Also, the animation, I like the little soothing animation, right? It's nice, it's nice. So like that's basically what you'd be going for that. Now, if you want to see, first of all, perfect reroll account, you could go check this one out. And then for an actual tier list, do check this out, because this is not indicative of the actual tier list, okay? Because Panda's not in B, Toto's not in C, right? So, you know, please do check out the actual tier list that I did get some help from people from the wiki. So now we do have this, okay? So basically they're recommending banners, which I agree, okay? I do agree. This one's not really the best because it's mainly SRs, right? So it's not really worth it. Now Junpei, if I remember correctly, is an SSR, but not really the craziest. Itadori is in the standard, and you could literally get him right now, so not worth it. So at that point, it's basically Yuta and then Geto, right? And then from that point on, you could summon. So at the beginning, it really is like, do the early summon. Like, this is very important right now, especially because you can't reroll. Like, you can't just do one multi. Like, you're not gonna have that much, so you're gonna need to like make use of it. So for this, I just want to kind of go into the other SRs. I don't know about her. She could be good. She stuns a lot. But I really feel like the Yukis, Inumaki, and then Nanami and Yaga, I forgot his name for a sec, are really good. And then here you got the other recollection bits that you can go for. Hold on, I didn't mean to open it in a new tab, a new window. I just meant to open it in a new tab. So we could go into these. So we got this one, which is good for taijutsu and some HP, which increases ult damage, and then also takes more taijutsu damage, which this one is pretty good. For this one, HP and jujutsu, which if you need something easy for Gojo, there you go. Not a lot of HP, which Gojo doesn't need. He doesn't take damage, which is going to increase all allies damage, which is pretty good. Actually, that's nice. This one is honestly one I would take. Do I have that one? If not, I'm going to take the Malevolent Shrine, I guess. Do I have it? No, I'm going to take the Shrine then. All right, perfect. And then we got this one, which is going to be giving taijutsu, then increasing all allies damage dealt by 30%, a lot higher, and then fills own ult gauge by 200. So I'd say this one might be the best. I'd rather it more than this, because it gives more damage dealt, but this one's for 2 turns without a restriction. So do keep that in mind. And it does depend. Taijutsu or Jujutsu, it's going to depend on which units you want to build, and you can check my tier list out to see what units have which stats for a very quick summary, right? And then there are the 2 rares here, which you could check on your own time. But overall, like, the Yukis are very good for supporting and doing defensive heals. Defensive support. These 2 for damage support, right? And then her for stuns, and then him, he's going to be giving a bit of a, was it defense? I'm pretty sure it was defense, right? Or no, he's actually giving alt, skill gauge, and defense, essentially. Yes. So these are the main units you are going for. Build a team of 5. Try to have 1 tank. Even Panda works. Okay, Panda does work. I don't really think you should go for SSR Panda since Rare Panda exists and will be working pretty well early on, and you have Gojo, right? But you're going to want to build with the rares off of the SSRs. That's the main thing, right? And if you do get total, then you could try going for UG because they are a pretty good pair. But overall, it is unfortunate, right? You're gonna have to build, like, play a bit differently in terms of rerolling, and you're gonna really, I feel like, work off the early gacha. Try to make 5 accounts. If you don't get lucky, then after that, just like accept your fate and just go for Gojo on the rerollable SSR ticket, right? That's basically how you're gonna have to do it. Basically, what you're doing is you're going to go into the gacha until you get your 3 multis and your ticket. You're gonna do your ticket, get your Gojo, do 1 or 2 multis, save some if you can, and in those 1 or 2 multis, you try to get your, well, so first you're gonna do the multis. See if you get like one of the SSRs you want, and then for the other one, get Gojo, right? Or either or. Like your 1 SSR you want and Gojo intertwined between the ticket and the 2 multis that you're going to do. You want to save a bit. You want to go for Yuta. He's going to be great and still is very great, right? I don't think this tier list is the best for right now for global, but considering Yuta's still there and Gojo's still there, it does show that, you know, Yuta, considering these two were in the first month, like, you're going to probably want Yuta, right? You're going to probably want him. So that's basically it, right? I don't really have much more to say. Do check out the tier list. I'm going to promote it, but yeah, do check it out. And then also the Perfect Reroll account if you do want to. But yeah, that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think. Who are you going for in this launch, right? Including the fact that you can't really make guest accounts. So that's going to be pretty important. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.